Join us on Patreon to support our channel and the work we do to help people, animals and the planet.
You'll get rewards like ebooks, one-on-one Skype calls and online coaching discounts.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Interesting viewer question today. This is quite a ethical, philosophical topic. Let's go.
Rock Sugar 10 says, "Hi guys, you are awesome, wonderful humans, but I have a question for you."
Sounds like a shit sandwich is coming.
It does. What would you do if you were in a car accident or you were sick and needed medical help to stay alive? Do you realise that a trip to the hospital requires medication and medical equipment that is being tested on animals? Animals are being tortured so you can have medical treatment to stay alive and pain-free. So do you die of disease or injury, or do you take the medical procedures knowing that animals were tortured for your well-being? Also, other animals have been tortured and tested on so that other animals can have veterinarian care. It seems that humans find it easy to have a no animal cruelty life because it doesn't really hurt, but when a human is faced with death, pain or disease, we don't care that animals were abused.
Alright, very interesting topic. This is a big one. So we have actually discussed this between us, haven't we? Months ago we were going for a walk and talking about this exact topic. So it is something that we have personally thought about, and I think many vegans do think about. First up,
I just wanted to preface it by saying, as Gary Yourofsky has a really good response to this type of question, that as humans we're very good at focusing on the 2% and ignoring the 98%. Now in this instance, 98% of animal cruelty comes from food production. So once we actually address that and get the majority of the population on a vegan diet, we're going to take care of the majority of the animal cruelty that's taking place. This question actually falls more into the 2%, but nevertheless we can talk about this.
absolutely. So it's important to remember that it is impossible to be 100% cruelty-free. Not possible. Your phone, your laptop, all electronics in your house, plastics have animal products.
Your car, the road that it's driven on, all have animal byproducts.
The tyres on your car and also on your bike. So basically being alive, being human, you are going to cause some kind of harm to other beings unless you lived like in the jungle, in a cave and didn't move. That's just the world we've created. It's very unfortunate, but that's the reality.
It is. And that's where we have to go back to the definition of veganism. As far as practicable and possible. So there are things that are out of our control, and then there are things that are very much well and truly within our control. And 98% of the animal cruelty, again, is within our control.
Exactly. So just because we can't be 100% cruelty-free doesn't mean that you shouldn't make the effort to be 98% cruelty-free, basically. Do the best that you can. So let's divide this question up into two areas. First of all, we have medical operations, and the other one is an accident. Let's look at the medical first. Most diseases, most medical procedures happen because of poor diet and poor lifestyle choices. So if people stopped eating meat, dairy and eggs and adopted a whole foods plant-based diet, low fat, high carb, the majority of the health problems would just take care of themselves and we wouldn't see so many people needing operations. That's number one. If they are vegan and they need an operation for health reasons, we have to make sure that they're eating a whole foods diet.
Yes, because if their junk food vegan choices are leading them to, get sick and then require medication that's being tested on animals, that's not great when they could have adopted a whole foods or predominantly whole foods plant-based diet and, reduced their risk significantly of getting sick.
Now, if a non-vegan needs to have, say, open heart surgery, for example, what do we think about that? Well, if they come out of the surgery and they change their ways, if they stop eating meat, dairy and eggs and they have some great education and work out, oh, well, if I eat these foods, I'll be not only saving my life in the future, but I won't need to have this operation again, and I'll be saving up to 365 animals a year.
One for every day of your life.
Then absolutely come out of the operation as a vegan and spend your time educating other people with heart disease about how they can turn things around and avoid operations. So yeah, that would be wonderful. If the person had the operation and didn't go vegan after the surgery...
Well, then we question, do animals deserve to suffer at the expense of people's apathy and ignorance? So the second scenario, if you had an accident and it was out of your control, would you have life-saving surgery that had been tested on an animal? Well, if you're vegan and you save countless animals each year by converting people to a vegan diet and lifestyle, then, you know, maybe the
Yes.
end justifies the means in this scenario.
If you're not vegan and have the life-saving surgery, but you continue to kill animals and other beings through your dietary choices.
And it all depends, I think, whether the person has the education or not.
Yeah.
So if you are aware of the animal cruelty that is in the food production system and other areas, but predominantly there, and you are apathetic towards it and you choose not to change your harmful, destructive, cruel ways.
Yeah. The last bit of this question was, when a human is faced with death, pain or disease, we don't care that animals were abused. That's not true. We have thought about this a lot, and there are two examples that we want to give you in our life situation that demonstrates this. So one was with your vasectomy.
Exactly. So we had spoken about this at length, knowing that that procedure had at one point in the past been tested on animals. And as I go to great lengths in my vasectomy video to point out, we felt that we decided that the ends justified the means. That procedure had already been tested on animals in the past, and by having that procedure, I was going to be able to guarantee, we were going to be able to guarantee that we could continue our vegan activism, converting people to a vegan diet and lifestyle, thereby saving countless animals' lives as a result.
The important thing that you said was that this procedure was already tested on animals. It's not like they were going to test it on an animal just so Luca could have a vasectomy. Everything's been tested. Even if you go to the dentist, you need you've got a cavity or whatever. Everything has been tested on animals. The other example was many years ago, I used to have very bad Coxs pain, and one day I woke up and I was in excruciating pain. I literally couldn't move, could I? I couldn't sit down, I couldn't walk. Luca had to take me to the toilet.
Worst pain I've ever seen you in my life.
I was in agony. It's just spasming, shooting up the spine. We were in Ecuador at that time. Went to the hospital and I was freaking out because that was the first time I had to go to the hospital as a vegan. I'm saying, no, I don't belong here, I can't be here, I'm a vegan, I'm healthy.
Knowing full well that anything that takes place in a hospital has been tested on animals at some point in the past.
Exactly, and they wanted to give me a giant syringe, a painkiller, right in the butt next to the coccyx. And I was hysterical about this. I remember screaming, no, it's been tested on animals, probably got animal products in it. I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And I ended up having it because I was in so much pain. I had no choice, really. But it was very much in the front of my mind, despite the pain that I was in. I did not want this because it had been tested on animals. Interestingly, because I was rejecting it so much, it didn't even work. I was still in pain after the injection.
One point we wanted to make was that just because, let's say you break your arm and you go to the hospital to have it set in a plaster cast, I don't think the act of choosing to go to the hospital to put your arm in the cast is the same as saying you agree with animal testing. The fact that that procedure of setting the cast has been at some point in the past tested on an animal by breaking its arm, you weren't in control of that at that time, and you didn't support that, you didn't vote for it. It's the legal system that we live in that requires that procedure to be tested on an animal.
Animals will have still been tested on, and they will continue to be tested on until the laws change.
Yeah.
But
by you not having your arm set in plaster cast, that doesn't affect animal testing.
That's right. And everything that we're saying also applies to the other part of this person's question about, well, what about our pets, our companion animals that we take to the vet? Veterinarian practice has been, tested on other animals, so it's the same kind of thing. Again, watching your companion animals suffer and die is not going to stop animal testing on other animals. There are vegan vets, so you can look one up in your area. Basically, the laws have to change. We have to put pressure on the system to change the laws for animal testing.
And that will come about when people get over or are educated about speciesism and choose to live a vegan diet and lifestyle first and foremost, and then we can collectively push for that social, legal, cultural change that is desperately needed.
At the end of the day, I think you just have to think about your situation, weigh things up, and do the best that you can with your diet and lifestyle.
And if you want to read more about this fascinating topic, we suggest a book called An Introduction to Animal Rights, Your Child or the Dog by Professor Gary Francione. Wonderful read, highly recommend it. So thanks for watching, guys. Please list down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this very interesting topic? We'd love to hear from you. As always, like, share and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.
See you. Bye for now.
Bye. What other chemical compounds are in the same family as caffeine? Morphine, nicotine, and cocaine. So
It's a drug.